beginning, drenched in corruption. The Israeli embassy secretly meeting with the Crown Prosecution Service. People from Elbit secretly meeting with the government. All of them lobbying for the criminalization of Palestine action. All of them lobbying for prescription.
Keep moving.
The rule of law is being dismantled right beneath our feet.
Keep moving down.
And that, for me, is what we should be most terrified about.
Keep moving down that way, please.
Now, many people who support Palestine action will say that we're part of a long tradition of civil disobedience and direct action in this country. As was mentioned before, the suffragettes, the Battle of Cable Street, Greenham Common. And they're right in this. They're right. But those movements are not the movements that inspire me. I'm inspired instead by the long legacy of Palestinian resistance itself. I'm inspired by my grandfather, who himself was arrested and imprisoned for a year and 8 months by the British state, imprisoned in a British prison in Palestine before the state of Israel was even established, because the Palestinian demand for liberation and the Palestinian demand for dignity predates even the state of their oppressor itself. And it will live on into eternity. Into eternity. And from this perspective, I hope we can all see that Palestine action is not merely a spontaneous British movement, but it is inheriting a proud legacy of Palestinian resilience for generations. And it's created in this country a revolutionary moment, and it's proved two things. One is that the people are tired of watching a genocide committed in our name, committed by our governments, and having no chance to stop it. And two, that the people are no longer afraid of the state's threats against them. No matter the outcome of this process, no matter what happens from today, I want everyone here to know that you've built a revolutionary moment. You are participating in a revolutionary era, and that can never be undone. And no matter what happens after today, I want everyone here to know that for the rest of your lives, you can hold your heads up high, knowing that you stood shoulder to shoulder with the Palestinian people in their greatest hour of need. That should be a source of inspiration, and that should be a source of pride for all of you. And I want you to know also that the Palestinian people recognize that sacrifice, and they thank you for it. Now, you seem like a rowdy bunch, so I'm going to end with another chant. This is also a new one, but I'm not doing a Bob Dylan. I don't want the organizers of the demo are having a heart attack. No. You may know that I'm also half Egyptian and half Palestinian. And you may know also that the best writers of chants in the world are the Egyptians. And you may know that the best Egyptian writers of chants are the Journalists Syndicate of Egypt. And about a year ago, they wrote a beautiful one that I've never really found the opportunity to share. I never really thought that it was applicable. But I think today, with this vote going through, it applies. I think we have some Arabic speakers here, is that right? Okay, I'll start with the Arabic version. The other beautiful thing about this chant is that it works perfectly in both Arabic and in English. I'll try and do it loud, but my voice it goes like this. غزة احنا آسفين احنا كمان محتلين غزة احنا آسفين احنا كمان محتلين Gaza, we apologize.
Gaza, we apologize.
We are also occupied.
We are also occupied.
Gaza, we apologize.
Gaza, we apologize.
We are also occupied.
are also occupied.
Thank you very much. I'll see you at the next demo.
Across the world, in our millions, in our billions.
We are all Palestinians.
In our millions, in our billions.
We are all Palestinians.
In our millions, in our billions.
We are all Palestinians.
In our millions, in our billions.
We are all Palestinians.
Our next speaker is here representing the Palestinian Youth Movement, which recently released a report exposing the scale of British arms sales to Israel. Please give a very warm welcome to Yara Dabas. Free, free!
Palestine!
Free, free!
Palestine!
Over the past week, we have seen masses of people in Britain stand with Palestine Action amidst the news of this potential prescription. Students, workers, families, communities, journalists, artists, lawyers, grassroots groups have all come out to show that Palestine Action is not a fringe organisation as the government is trying to make them out to be. It's ordinary people in the British public that have displayed mass public support for Palestine Action and deep opposition to the government's attempts to extinguish them. We know that the government is using its prescription powers as an attempt to strike fear in the movement for Palestine in Britain. But are we scared?
No!
I can't hear you. Are we scared?
No!
What this has shown is that it's the Labour government that is really scared. They're afraid of what Palestine Action exposes about them. That Britain is a key partner in Israel's genocide, a genocide that has killed hundreds of thousands of Palestinians in Gaza, has wiped out the majority of the civil infrastructure in Gaza, and is waging a starvation campaign. Shame. The Labour government has blood on its hands and they know it. Their threatened prescription of Palestine Action is an attempt to keep attention away from Britain's role in the most violent genocide we've seen in modern history and to demonise those who are trying to put a stop to it. Palestine Action have expressed time and time again that their work intends to show solidarity with the Palestinian people by protecting them from further violence caused by these arms companies. They have made it their mission to disrupt Israel's ability to carry out genocide by striking directly at the heart of the imperialist war machine, and for that they are being punished. But let's give it up for these actions. The government can see that the movement for Palestine in Britain is strong, it is mass, and it's creating an impact. States intervene to prevent movements that are working. The Palestine movement in Britain is making historical strides in confronting Zionism at home. From shutting down a number of arms factories, taking to the streets in our millions, students are targeting university complicity, research exposing the continued arms exports to Israel, the launching of local divestment and arms embargo campaigns. We, as the Palestine movement in Britain, have been taking it upon ourselves to intervene, which is exactly what the state should be doing. The government wouldn't be wasting their time on any of this if we weren't winning. The majority of people in Britain oppose genocide and want to see Britain suspend its continued arms exports to Israel. So what we are doing is acting in the public's interest by organising to enforce a people's arms embargo from below. This will go down in history. Not only are our actions historic, so are the alliances that we are forming. Over the past 20 months, we have built coalitions, strengthened our partnerships, and we've seen camaraderie bloom in meetings and on the streets. Now more than ever, building and maintaining unity is a crucial responsibility for us all. The government is threatening the prescription because they want to fragment us, to demobilize us, and to demoralize us. So we need to get organized, we need to unite, and we need to strengthen our conviction in the face of this repression. It's a known tactic of the colonizer to try to keep us apart, to turn us against one another, and to try to get us to give up on our struggle. We cannot afford to fall into this trap, and we owe it to the people of Gaza to renew our commitment to the struggle, no matter the hits that our movement takes. We are all part of the Palestine liberation movement. An attack on one of us is an attack on us all. The Palestine liberation movement teaches us that unity and organization is what protects our movement. This protects us from our enemies and from those that want to exploit our differences. But in fact, our differences are what make us stronger. Different tactics, different campaigns, different pressure points are what allow us to target multiple choke points in the Zionist imperialist project, and that keeps our enemies on their toes. So regardless of what the state tries to do, we cannot be deterred, we cannot be intimidated, and we have a responsibility to carry forward the struggle as our people have done for the past 100 years. We have to remind ourselves what is at the core of all of this: resistance in service of the struggle for liberation. We will commit to a lifetime of struggle until victory, until freedom, and until the total liberation of Palestine from the river to the sea. Free, free,
Palestine!
free, free,
Palestine!
from the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free!
From the river to the sea.
Palestine will be free!
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever!
From the sea to the river.
Palestine will live forever!
The people united.
We'll never be defeated!
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 1, 2,
We won't be silent!
3.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
1,
We are the people!
2,
We won't be silent!
3.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
1,
We are the people!
2,
We won't be silent!
3.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
1,
We are the people!
2,
We won't be silent!
3.
Stop the bombing now, 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 now!
Our next speaker is here representing another of the co-organisers of today's demonstration. Please make some noise for Zaid Al-Takriti from the Muslim Association of Britain.
Palestine!
Free, free,
Palestine!
free, free.
Palestine!
Brothers, sisters, friends, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be upon you all. We gather today in solidarity with Palestine Action, knowing full well that this is an attack upon us all. This is about a state that fears the people more than it fears injustice. We are here because the state is attempting to ban a protest movement, not because of a fear against public safety, but because it poses a threat to the status quo, because it threatens to unmask Britain's role in the genocide. Palestine Action has done what our government should have done a long time ago. They are stopping the machinery that enables war crimes. While Israel reduces Gaza to ash, while 55,000 Palestinians and more have been decimated, while schools, hospitals, aid, Palestinians have been burnt alive in their tents, the UK government continues to arm and abet. Shame. It continues to send arms. It continues to send spy planes. And it continues
to host Israeli officials. It provides diplomatic cover. Shame! And when ordinary people rise to stop it, when they chain themselves to factories, spray blood-red paint across arms companies, or dare to name Elbit for what it is, a cog in the killing machine, the government responds with panic. And so we must ask, what kind of government are we willing to accept? One that protects arms dealers and prosecutes those who try to stop them? One that treats opposition to genocide as terrorism and weapon sales as business as usual? To them we say, not in our name.
Not in our name.
They say that Palestine Action are a threat, but to whom? To whom is it a threat when people expose war crimes, when they break windows to shatter silence? It is a threat to the companies profiting from Palestinian death. It is a threat to politicians who fear accountability. It is a threat to a government that knows the British public is against them. People in this country want a ceasefire. The people want arms exports suspended. The people can see through the moral rot at the heart of British foreign policy. The fact that the vandalization and destruction of machines of war is now being called terrorism just goes to show how low our government has stooped. From the civil disruption of the suffragettes on these shores, to the struggle of the anti-apartheid movement in South Africa, to the continued resistance of our dear Palestinian comrades, history always vindicates those who choose justice over law and truth over comfort. Now make no mistake, this is not just about Palestine Action. This is about all of us, about the right to act, to feel, to stand up. If we let them silence Palestine Action, we will all feel the consequences. Because protest does not begin and end with one group. It is a living, breathing force in any democracy. Our right to protest is something that should be considered sacred, inviolable. Our right to look at the actions of our government and call them out is something that should never be infringed upon. Our right to be obstacles in the way of our government committing acts of genocide is the furthest thing from terrorism. And every single one of us stood here today know that history will look very kindly upon Palestine Action. There will come a day because of the shamelessness of those in our government where they will pretend that they were never a part of the genocide. They will claim that they were on the streets with us. Because that is what governments like ours have always done. But we will remember. We will remember who stood with us here today. And we are not here just for this moment. We are here for what comes after. For the moment that this movement will outlast this crackdown. For the factories that will be shut down and abolished. For the weapons that will never be fired. For the free Palestine that will rise from the rubble. And so I say this in the words of Dr. Ghassan Abu Sitta. It is your world to fight for. It is your tomorrow to make. Our march to freedom and justice continues and will not be slowed. The bravery of all those in this beautiful coalition should only be strengthened. We must continue to stand firm and keep our voices loud. This does not stop until from the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
the river to the sea. From the river to the sea,
Palestine will be free.
Thank you very much. Thank you,
Parliament against Israel's genocide in Gaza. She is the Member of Parliament for Poplar and Limehouse. Please give a very warm welcome to Oksana Begum.
Today I voted against prescribing Palestine action. Because the ongoing crackdown on the right to protest is a threat to us all. I come from East London, and we have seen the militant suffragettes, the Poplar Rates strike, the Battle of Cable Street, and the Battle of all now widely recognised as struggles against injustice. That protest group flies in the face of our long history in the UK of protest and dissent. What's more, prescribing Palestine action while continuing to send arms to a state that is committing the gravest acts against humanity in Gaza is not just unjustifiable, it is absolutely chilling. And there is no doubt about it, no doubt of the political nature of this unprecedented attack on civil liberties by a state whose ally is committing genocide as I speak.
Shame!
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 Just today there are reports that an Israeli airstrike has killed one of Gaza's most senior doctors along with his family members. Another catastrophic loss to the already decimated healthcare system. But we will never stop. We will never stop asking whether UK-made weapons were involved in this or in the killing of hungry people queuing up in aid queues. We will never ever stop speaking out against the use of arms or the use of technologies being sent to Israel to kill children or to bomb refugee camps. And I want to be clear, we will never ever stop opposing genocide. Free!
Palestine!
Solidarity!
Make some noise for Oksana Begum! Free!
Palestine!
Now our next speaker is here representing over 70,000 transport workers. Please give a very warm welcome to the Assistant General Secretary of the RMT, Darren Ireland.
What we have witnessed today is yet another scandal by the government. A direct attack on our freedom and civil liberties. We should never, ever back down to the attacks on our freedoms. Freedom fought for over 200 years. The government today, except 26 MPs, have proscribed Palestine action. That is a scandal. Painting warplanes should not be terrorism. Yet the Home Secretary has used a spray painting of warplanes, which is an act of peace in itself, to stop the bombing of innocent civilians in Palestine by the genocide that's been committed out there. We should condemn the decision that's been undertaken by the government today. And instead of attacking our freedoms, the government should be doing all it can to fulfill its obligations under international law to prevent genocide. Yet this government is criminalising people who demand justice for Palestinians. At a time when Israel is continuing its relentless bombing campaign against the people of Gaza, daily massacres of starving people. It's an absolute scandal. We stand here today and on the many demonstrations that have gone around this country for a long time, we'll be on the right side of history. The politicians in Parliament who vote to prescribe direct action from activists who actually want peace should be outrightly condemned. Solidarity, free Palestine.
On January the 18th, our next speaker was violently arrested and charged for peacefully protesting against genocide. His trial begins in the City of London Magistrates Court on Monday the 9th of July. So please be there from 9 a.m. to support him. And please give a very warm welcome to the Vice Chair of Stop the War Coalition, Chris Needham.
Thanks very much, and greetings from the Stop the War Coalition. We stand with Palestine Action and all of you here today. The use of the rhetoric of terrorism and terrorism legislation against people trying to stop a war is absurd, it's ludicrous, it's also deeply sinister. They're doing it to try and take this movement apart. They're doing it to try to divide us. And we have one message for them today. We will not be divided. We stand united. We stand focused, and we will continue to campaign until we have won. The attacks on Palestine Action, the attacks on Kneecap, the attacks on Bob Villan mark an escalation in a campaign against the Palestine movement that started or was relaunched with a vengeance in October 2023. They have tried to stop us marching. They have arrested people for wearing the wrong T-shirt or holding the wrong placard. They have raided journalists' homes in the early hours of the morning and taken their laptops. They have held the Filton 18 on demand and remand for months. They have arrested myself and Ben Jamal on the 18th of January and scores of others for peacefully protesting. And we have heard today that they have announced new charges against two other leaders of the movement, Sophie Bolt from CND and Alex Kenny from the Stop the War Coalition. And they have lied and lied and lied about us. They have created an Alice in Wonderland reality in which people marching and protesting against the systematic killing of children, against the flattening of hospitals, against the assassination of people starving, are called hate marchers by people who are organising the genocide. The truth is the opposite of as we all know. This movement is made up of those people in society most outraged by the violence and oppression being meted out against the whole people. As such, this movement brings together the very best of humanity. The only good news is that no one is buying their lies. They are resorting to repression because they are losing the argument. The majority of society in Britain sympathise with the Palestinians and are demanding an end to our government's collusion. They are demanding an end to our government's arms sales to Israel. That is the fact that they cannot change. This is to intimidate us, this is to divide us, this is to threaten us, but it is too late. We will not be intimidated, we will not be silenced. Their repression is only spreading the resistance. We know from our history that rights and freedoms are not handed down to us. They have always been won by these kind of mass movements, and we are going to stay in the streets to defend them. The vote today in Parliament was shameful and disgraceful. At the same time, we should take heart from the fact that at the very same moment when this government is verbally being forced to retreat on the question of Palestine, they have been defeated over their attacks on disabled people. We should take heart from the fact that millions of people are starting to say, why are they spending money arming Israel? Why are they buying new bombers? Why are they increasing defence spending when they can't deliver basic necessities for the people in this country? The truth is, for all their repression, their authority is crumbling. This is a time, this is a moment when they are in retreat, when we must redouble our efforts. Please join us on the 7th of July outside the court case. Please make sure Operation for Palestine in London is another massive display of popular anger on what this government is doing. Please stay in the streets and please remember, this government can be defeated. Thank you very much.
From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! From the river to the sea! Our next speaker is a lifelong friend to the Palestinian people and defender of human rights. He is the independent MP for Islington North and the People's Prime Minister. Please give a very warm welcome to Jeremy Corbyn!
Thank you. Thank you everyone for being here. Thank you to all those that have organised this event at short notice, showing our determination to stand with the Palestinian people. I've just come from Parliament where we had the debate this afternoon on the terrorism law trying to ban Palestine action. The point I made and others made in our speeches was that every aspect of our democracy comes actually from brave people who took protest action. The Charter of the 19th century projects in the early part of the 20th century. Those that stood around the world in solidarity with others to bring about the end of the slave trade, those that stood for civil rights in the United States, those that opposed the wars in Vietnam and Iraq and so many other places. Every single piece of liberation or social progress did not come from the decisions handed down from above. They came from popular action to take effective action to draw attention to the injustice of our times. And the great injustice of our times is what is now happening to the Palestinian people. 60,000 and well more than that probably already dead in Gaza. Thousands also dead in the West Bank. This is since October 2023. And now the vile image of the Hunger Games going on in Gaza, where desperate people searching for food, for water, for medicine, means of survival. Women trying to get some formula milk in order to feed their babies because they're so malnourished they can't even express milk themselves to feed their babies. Watching small infants starve to death. Deliberately done, deliberately organised, deliberately done by an occupying power that can watch them knowing there is all the food, all the water, all the medicine, all the power just over the other side of the fence. And we, Britain, are supplying the parts for the F-35 jets that have been bombing. We, Britain, have been allowing RAF Akrotiri to be used as a staging point for flights. We, Britain, have been allowing the manufacture of weapons in this country that have been used to commit acts of genocide against the Palestinian people. Well, we're here protesting, and I'll tell you what, the more we protest, the more support we get. The more isolated those that support this become. That is what the nature of political action is about. What you're doing today is a form of political action to encourage people over there to do the right thing, not the wrong thing. Don't go around banning people telling you the truth. Listen to the truth they're telling you and maybe just consider your own position and do something right and different, like standing up against genocide, standing up against crimes against humanity, standing up for the right of starving children to get food. We know which side we're on this, and our message to the rest of the world is we are carrying on with our protests. We're going to be here as long as it takes. We're not going away. We're here with the people of Palestine. Thank you very much.
Free! 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 Now our next speaker is a family member of one of the Filton 18 who were arrested and remanded for over a year for taking non-violent direct action to stop the flow of arms to Israel. Please make some noise for Shams!